Coach Jackie here, going to be talking to you a little bit about time blocking today. So as I'm sure a lot of you have experienced, that the demands on our time today are far greater than they have ever been. Information is just coming at us so much faster. It's the age of multitasking, the age of email on our phone, the age of Facebook, Instagram, all these things that can distract us from being effective with our days, and it just makes us want to try to get more in less time. And you know, one of the great equalizers of all humanity is time. I mean, there isn't one person that gets 28 hours and another person that only gets 14 hours. Essentially, it's how we choose to spend those hours. And so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about time blocking, just because it's a really effective way to get more productivity out of your day, which saves more time for you to get your workout in, you know, food prep, just depending on what's important to you, or I mean, just so you have time to spend with your kids and the family time and downtime to unwind and de-stress. I think today it's just like everything is go, go, go. We're running from one thing to the next, and then we just hit our bed at night and crash. So there's definitely a way that we can be more effective with our days, and that's through time blocking. Some of my recommendations for those of you that are new to time blocking, you might be surprised that some of you are already doing this. So when you look at your calendar and you've started to kind of etch in your kids' events and things that you know you have to get done. So that's kind of what time blocking is, but just to a little bit higher level, or times 10. So time blocking is really a way for you to manage your time throughout the day in blocks of time. So those blocks of time, for the most part, shouldn't be longer than an hour, and probably a little bit closer to 30 minutes. They say that you can most effectively focus on something for about 30 minutes before your productivity just starts to fall. Obviously, sometimes, like if your kid's practice is an hour and you have to block that time out, you can't make that shorter. But as far as trying to accomplish tasks or get things done at work, try to segment those things in 30-minute time blocks. If you're new to this, starting off on a small scale, so maybe you just time block, starting with time blocking your lunch out, time blocking some downtime in the evening. Time blocking doesn't have to be all about work. You could time block a date night, time block that homework with your daughter or with your son, or tucking your kids into bed and reading them a story at night. So pick a few things that you want to start with time blocking throughout your week. What I chose to start with, mainly because it was a huge time suck for me, was email. So email kept popping up on my computer, and it always distracted me from what I was working on. So I started by first time blocking times I was going to check email and times I was going to check social media. And then throughout the day, I wasn't going to check it at all. By the way, that's amazing what that does for your productivity. And then I kind of built my time block from there. Now that I'm in school, I have a lot more structure and can't really dictate my schedule very much. So I have control over my time in the morning, which I time block out on Sundays when I'm going to work out, which happens to be in the morning, when I'm going to basically wake up, what my morning looks like, my downtime, because I like to start my day with about 15 minutes of just peace and quiet, which works out great because Joel coaches the 5 a.m. class. Kidding, but anyways, and then from there I kind of school in the middle, and then I time block out my evening. If I'm coaching classes or coming into the gym that evening, I time block out like my homework time, and then I definitely time block out like personal time, where I just want to have the flexibility to do nothing. I think that's really important too. Something to start with as you're building your time blocking schedule out. Like I said before, start on a smaller scale, but also time block things out that like scream at you. So don't be so detailed. Check email from Sally. It's just email, social media, family time, personal time. And then with your work, if you want to get more specific with that, like throughout your work, think of the major tasks that you have to do throughout your work day and time block those out. Don't time block out a tiny little specific thing. Time block out chunks of your day. And then try to maybe cycle through some of those in 30 minutes to an hour. Again, it's relative to what your profession is. So if you have any questions or need help with this, let me know. I have definitely been implementing it in my life to keep structure in kind of chaotic, sometimes chaotic times. And then the last thing I'm going to say before I end this is that try this out for 30 instances. So obviously we know that it takes time to build habits. Don't just try it for a few days and you're like, nope, this doesn't work. Spend some time on a Sunday, time blocking out your week. And then what I want you to do is spend 30 instances of trying that out. So don't just give up on it. You might need to move a couple things around at first, but then give it a shot for 30 days. See if it helps with your productivity. See maybe at the end of 30 days if you need to make any shifts or changes. But give it a shot for 30 days. Again, if you need any help, feel free to ask myself. I'll be happy to share my schedule with you and kind of come up with some ways, an easy way to get this started. We'll see you guys back at the gym.